Hello everybody! In today's video, I would like to start the theme of traveling, and I'm going to tell you about my recent journey to Germany. So if you like traveling or you really want to travel, continue watching this video. I will tell you only about 3 German cities that we have visited, and in the next part of this video, I'm going to tell you about Munich, because we were there about 5 days and we visited a lot of places near Munich, so it will take a lot of time. So the first thing that I should tell you is that my family and I are used to traveling by car. And it's quite comfortable because you can make stops wherever you want and whenever you want, and you can see all these beautiful views and places. Of course, sometimes you are tired because you sit at the same positions for a long time, but yet I like this way of traveling. So our first stop was in Poland, but actually we stopped there just to sleep in a little city. That's why I want to pay my attention to this stop. So our second stop was actually in Germany, and it was Berlin. So this city seems to me quite strict and modern. And I felt sick, unfortunately, there, but despite this fact, I thought that I would regret it later, that I didn't go to the excursion or didn't see all these sites. That's why I did it. So our first day we spent in Charlottenburg. Charlottenburg is an affluent locality of Berlin. It was established as a town in 1705 and was named after Sophia Charlotte, who was the Queen of Prussia. And it is best known for the Charlottenburg Palace, and it is the largest survival palace in Berlin. So it was an independent city, and later it became a part of Berlin. So it is quite a beautiful place. Charlottenburg has a beautiful garden, a beautiful palace. There are a lot of animals in the park, birds, and it's a quiet place where you can just enjoy the atmosphere of nature. And then we just walked in Berlin and actually went to the hotel. You are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you are the reason why my heart is still above water. And if I could, I'd get you the moon and give it to you. And if that was coming for you, I'd give my life for you. The second day was crazy because we visited a lot of places and we saw a lot of sites. So the first one is Reichstag, or Reichstag in German. And I imagined this building in another way, but yet this building is worth seeing, is worth visiting, because it's history. But there were some facts that impressed me most of all, and they're mostly connected with Adolf Hitler. So first of all, I've always thought that Reichstag was a residence of Adolf Hitler, but this place wasn't his residence. Actually, he hated this place because there were other parties and he wanted only his party to be the most important, to be the strongest one, to be the best. The second fact is that Reichstag was on fire, and Adolf Hitler blamed communists on this fire, but actually there were suspicions that Adolf Hitler did it. So maybe not him, but some of his people from his party, but yet. just because he didn't like communists and he wanted to get rid of them. And the third fact connected with Reichstag is that earlier in the square in front of the Reichstag there was a monument of Bismarck. But when Hitler came, he didn't like Bismarck. That's why he just moved this monument to the bushes and thought that the square was a perfect place for soldiers and their trainings. The next interesting place was the Berlin Library, or it is also a university, but it is mostly known as the library. And in front of this library there is a square where Nazi burned books that they didn't like, that didn't support their policy, their ideas, their thoughts. That's why Germany has the Day of the Book that is celebrated on the 5th of May. Also, we saw the remnants of the Berlin Wall. Actually, when I think about this wall, I feel really sad, because I just imagine that a lot of people couldn't see each other just because of this wall. It is terrible, because just imagine yourself in such a situation. I hope that this will never happen again. The next site was Brandenburg Gate. They were located along the border between the West and the East Berlin, and when it was demolished, it became a symbol of freedom. Thousands of people gathered near this wall to celebrate its fall on the 9th of November in 1989. Museum Island is the name of the northern half of the island of the River Spree, and it is called so because of internationally significant museums that are located there. And also there is a Berlin Cathedral located on this island, and it looks really beautiful and amazing. By the way, in 1999, this complex of museums was added to the UNESCO list of the World Heritage Sites. You are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you are the reason why my heart is still above water. And if I could, I'd get you the moon and give it to you. And if that was coming for you, I'd give my life for you. 'Cause you are. The next city was Leipzig, or as German says, Leipzig. And this city impressed me. It is a really, I don't know why, but sometimes you have just a feeling that you like the city, and there's something beautiful or charming in the city for you. And Leipzig was one of such cities. There were a lot of tiny courtyards in this city. There are a lot of just tiny and cute streets, and there are a lot of beautiful sites, places, and buildings. And at the same time, this city is closely connected with the history and with famous people like musicians, philosophers, and others. So the first interesting place was Leipzig New Town Hall, and it is a city administration now. And there was a fact that was quite shocking for me, that everyone can enter this building and can just take a look around. And I think that in my country or in my city, I can't do like this. You can just enter this building and take photos, look around, just do what you want. Next site is St. Thomas Church, or in German it's Thomaskirche. And it's an amazing place because it is connected with so many famous people. It's connected with a lot of composers, such as, I don't know really how to pronounce that in English, just I will pronounce it as I know it. It is connected with Wagner, Mendelssohn, and especially Bach, who worked there until his death from 1723 to 1750 as a music director. and his remains are located in this church, and also there is a monument located near this church of Bach, the monument of Bach. Also, Martin Luther preached here in 1539. And also this church is famous for its choir of boys. That was founded in 1212, and this choir is still operating today. So you see the picture, and there are a lot of such symbols in Leipzig. And it means that this place is connected with music or a musician. And the last thing that impressed me in Leipzig was Leipzig University. I just thought that it was a church, but it wasn't. It is a university nowadays. Actually, earlier it was a church, but it was donated then to the university. So this place looked really amazing, just breathtaking, and I wanted to see it again and again.
I'll be there with you. Soon I'll be there with you. Soon I'll be there with you. Soon I'll be there with you. Oh. Show no fear, think of me by your side. Show no fear, baby it'll be alright. All is clear, know what we have to do. I know that it's hard being apart, but soon I'll be there with you. Soon I'll be there with you. Soon I'll be there with you.
And the next city is Nuremberg. So this city also is very beautiful, and just when you are in this city, especially in the old part of this city, you feel the atmosphere of medieval times. There are a lot of cathedrals, churches, bridges, old houses, and there is a fortress, an old fortress. So it just looked amazing. It was an independent city, and it was one of the richest cities with a lot of products, with a lot of goods, with a lot of beautiful buildings. And it can be seen today because there are so beautiful churches and cathedrals there. There is a really great number of them. So the first one is Saint Lorenz Church, and it has looked like Notre Dame de Paris. And it's really beautiful. It is a medieval church of the old imperial independent city of Nuremberg. The next church is Saint Sebaldus Church. It is one of the most important churches in the city, and since the Reformation it was the Lutheran church. The Frauenkirche, the Church of Our Lady. It is also a medieval church, and it was built on the initiative of Charles IV, Holy Roman Emperor, between 1352 and 1362. Numerous works of art from medieval ages are kept in this church. Also, Nuremberg is famous for Dürer, Albrecht Dürer, who was a painter, printmaker, and theorist of the German Renaissance. He was born in Nuremberg, and he established his reputation and influence across Europe because of his high-quality woodcut prints. He was in communication with one of the most famous and important Italian artists of that time, like Raphael or Leonardo da Vinci. And the last thing is that we didn't actually know it, but we visited Nuremberg when it was the blue night there. And it is the night when all the lights are blue and there is a light show, but unfortunately we go to our hotel because we were tired after the road, after our journey from Leipzig. But I think that it was beautiful.
can hurt. Loving can hurt sometimes, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it can get hard sometimes. It is the only thing that makes us feel alive. We keep this love in a photograph. We made these memories for ourselves, where our eyes are never closing, our hearts are never broken, and time's forever frozen still. So you can keep me inside the pocket of your ripped jeans, holding me closer till our eyes meet, and you won't ever be alone. Wait for me to come home.
So it's the end of this video, but it's not the end of my journey, because as I've told you, we also visited Munich and some places and sites around it, and I think the whole video should be dedicated to it. So thank you for watching this video. Bye. Are used to doing, are used to traveling. There was suspicion that Adolf Hitler made it. And you know, it's really comfortable because you can stop when we're Nuremberg. And